Hey everyone. So glad you could join us today. And it's Faith in an Ever Changing World, Encouragement and Hope. And I'm your host, Janet Harley. And it is my pleasure to have with me in the studio today LaTan Murphy. And LaTan is a speaker, vocalist, and an award winning freelance writer. Hi, LaTan, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. This is just a blessing to get to know you. Thank
Oh,
you to Karen Moore for our introduction.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And right after our brief intro, we'll learn more about LaTan Murphy. Stay with us. And we're back. And LaTan, if you will, please share with us what has God given you to do in this season, and how is faith helping you do it?
As I travel and speak to women across the nation, it's interesting because there's always that word, I want to do more for the Lord. I want to do something. I feel like my life is what's
Right.
happening to my life, like
Yes.
raise my children, now what? Or I'm in the process of raising my children, now what? So today I can say from my own personal experience, having raised a family, that in this particular season, God is teaching me about his presence and about how powerful the
Mm,
gift of his presence is.
yeah.
And then I hear the second thing I hear from women is I'm lonely.
Oh,
I hear that even more so in the recent year. Um,
mm,
I feel lonely. I feel isolated more than ever. And it's interesting because we have more technology than ever, and to know
yeah.
that we feel most lonely is very telling of our need for a holy God to who invites us to
Yeah.
enter into his presence on a daily basis.
Mm,
And entering into his presence sounds big and austere, but it's more about sitting or doing our dishes,
yeah.
inviting him into the passenger seat as we take our children to school,
Yeah.
or inviting him into the corner where we have our morning quiet time with our coffee and just soaking and being mindful that we have a God who is not a God who is far away and positioned
Right.
far away. We have a God who has chosen to come near to us, to
Yes.
bless us on a daily basis, to partner with us in
Hmm.
all the things that we just don't have answers for. So
Right.
God's teaching me more in this season about the precious gift of who he is
Mm,
in all that I am not.
yeah. Yeah.
And it's been such a sweet time. Um, we can have head knowledge all day long, Janet, but
Yep.
our head knowledge transitions to heart knowledge. And then
Yeah.
the overflow of that heart knowledge becomes words that bless others and encourage others through the ways that the presence of God
Mhm.
has met us in those places that we
Mm,
talk about. Then
yeah.
our lives of doing become more of being. And that's what God's teaching me most. It's been a powerful,
Right.
powerful year in that way.
That is wonderful. And see, when you do that, and you can, in through your speaking
Yeah.
and writing, you can encourage others based on your life stories or your
Absolutely.
experiences and the seasons of your life.
Yes.
Yes, tell us a
Um,
bit about your books that you've
Well,
written.
I have a book that was inspired by my mother-in-law who was dying of cancer, and she and my husband were the springboard for my entering into the writing world. The initial book was Becoming a Woman of Interior Elegance, and you can order that through Barnes and Noble online or Amazon.
Uh-huh.
She's with Jesus now, but I'm so grateful for her belief and faith in me and for that gentle nudge, as well as my husband's, that they saw
Yes.
a love for people. They saw my love for wanting to share the heartaches and the burdens and struggles and the losses and the joys of life that I personally have experienced. that I wanted to put those to paper and share it to be an encouragement to other women.
Right.
That their life is meaningful. So that's the first one. And then I wrote a book called God's Provision in Tough Times. And then we did a second edition of Becoming a Woman of Interior Elegance that is a devotional type book that has questions in the back of the book.
Wonderful.
And then the prior book was I've co-partners with many other authors in their particular books, which you can Google my name and see some of those. But then the recent book was Courageous Women of the Bible, which was really a blessing to write because I feel like I just can't even explain how God, when we talk about his presence, how his presence transformed me personally as a woman as I studied those 11 women of the Bible and saw myself in each of their stories. And it was just so encouraging to know that thousands of years ago, women struggled with very similar circumstances, although different.
Yeah.
To see their struggles and heartaches and the way they handled themselves.
Yeah.
It was a blessing to be able to write those stories and make it real to them today.
Yes.
And, so
we can learn so much.
We can
from the women of the Bible. Yes.
That's really my passion, Janet. You asked me about my writing. I think my passion is the women of the Bible right now in this season.
Yes.
Because there are so many women who are hurting and feeling isolated and lonely, as we talked about earlier, who feel ill-equipped and feel like their life has no meaning because the enemy has them. He likes to take our hand and put it here so we can't see beyond ourselves.
Yes.
When we transition that to seeing and looking to a holy God and saying, you created me. What did you have in mind for my life?
Right.
Maybe I've been living a life that you didn't intend for me to live. And so I feel like we have so much to learn from these women of the Bible and the men in the Bible, teaching us how to do just that, how to really center ourselves on someone that is so far bigger than us.
Yes, yes, yes. And you say here that you love to inspire others to look for everyday blessings in the middle of crazy busy living. And you know, the devil can keep us so busy.
He does.
That he keeps us away from the Lord. And but that is powerful right there. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you. My heart is to help us realize that in our rushing, he is there. In our slow paces, he is there.
Yes.
In those days where we feel like it's a day of nothingness, he is here and he is everything. And he's everything that we need. He's everything that we can draw from. He's the strength we can draw from and the joy we can draw from. And my book that we'll be releasing within this next, hopefully 6 months to a year, is about that, about the strength of God and the joy that we can maintain. And I got to tell you, Janet, I've lost 3 precious people in my life within the last 6 months this year.
Oh my.
And, you know, that doesn't happen to everyone, but there are many other types of losses, many other types of depleting situations that we face in life that we need to know and understand that there is a strength that is gifted to us that comes from God's presence that he gave us as he chose the cross. He chose us. He chose us.
Yes.
And we have been gifted so much. Like I have a lot of gifts in my closet that friends have given me through the years. Many of them I don't use on a daily basis.
Right.
But the gift of Jesus, God's Son, is a gift that we can utilize on a daily basis.
Yes.
That is timeless.
Ongoing. Yes.
That is ongoing. That reaches our past and our present and our future. And it helps ease our anxiety and the angst that we feel and just everyday living and all that we face.
Yeah.
It's a joy to me to talk about that with groups of women.
Yes.
Yes.
That's wonderful. And I'm going to put up some information because LaTan would be happy to talk with you about booking for speaking. And her website is latanmurphy.com. So you can certainly connect with her through her website. That's the best way to do it. And of course, she's on Facebook as well. But her website's where you need to go. And it's a beautiful website, LaTan. And so I just want to thank you again for being my guest today
Thank you
and
for
for
having me.
sharing that powerful word with us. And I know it's going to be a blessing. It certainly has been for me. So thank you for that. And thank you all for watching. And I want to thank Abundant TV, great network for you and your family. Faith in an Ever Changing World is also on that network, so you can catch up with episodes you might have missed. But also, I'd like for you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget. And have faith, friends. Look up where our help comes from. Bye. God bless.